Well, here is Hurricane Sally trying to make a Gulf Coast landfall on the Gulf shores of Alabama and also western Florida. And we'll look at the wind and the movement here in just a second. But you can see the wind and the rain causing some flooding. And this is from our Next Star station in Mobile, Alabama, WKRG. These are actual fire ants here, and those can bite, but you can see they are on top of the floodwaters here that are being caused by Hurricane Sally here. And as we look at the high-resolution radar here, you can see Mobile right here. Here's the Gulf Coast, and as we close on in here, you can see that Hurricane Sally is just crawling here, but all this heavy rain here is coming on shore from Dolphin Island, Mississippi to Gulf Shores, Mississippi here, and this is the strongest part of the hurricane. Not like Laura a couple weeks ago, but right in this eye wall here, that's where you get the strongest winds, and the counterclockwise flow of the hurricane, that's what's pushing all the Gulf water onshore for Alabama and western Florida. Let's take a look at the numbers here for Hurricane Sally. We do have winds of 75 miles per hour, and it is crawling to the north-northeast at 2 miles per hour here with the slow movement. Yesterday we had winds of 100 miles per hour, but with the slow movement of this storm, sometimes when a storm or a hurricane sits over one area for a long period of time, it's what's called upwells, the cooler waters, and that is what happens to Lake Superior in the fall time here. The cooler waters get drawn to the surface. Well, it's no exception here. The cooler waters get drawn to the surface here in the Gulf of Mexico, and when the water becomes cooler, hurricanes don't like that here, so that's why winds are down to 75 miles per hour from 100 mile per hour winds from yesterday. All right, not much going on back closer to home here. High pressure in control of the Great Lakes weather, but we do have a cold front back on off towards the west. That's going to be moving on in here as we go into tomorrow, and that's going to be bringing in some cooler temperatures. Already down to 52 for Winnipeg, Manitoba, 58 for Grand Forks, North Dakota, and you can see we're out ahead of that cold front. Temperatures are still in the 60s. Three things to know. Cooler air moving on in here as we go into Wednesday afternoon, mid to late afternoon from north to south, and it's going to be an autumn-like weather pattern here as we go into Thursday and Friday. Cooler days and then frost for inland areas at night, Wednesday night and also Thursday night, but temperatures do rebound by the weekend. Temperatures across upper Michigan are in the 60s, 58 for Houghton, 57 for Copper Harbor. And as we look at our temperature forecast for tonight, look for lows generally in the 50s to around 60. And then for the daytime on Wednesday, high 60s to around 70. But watch the colder air move on in, or the cooler air move on in here as we go into Wednesday afternoon. You can already see 50s beginning to move in. And then for tomorrow night, for inland areas, we're falling back into the 30s where we will have some frost near the shorelines of the Great Lakes. We'll have lows tonight around 40 or the 40s. A rain shower can't be ruled out tonight, and same for tomorrow, but once that cold front moves out of here tomorrow night and off to the east, we're going to see dry conditions for Wednesday night on into Thursday and also into Friday, and we're looking at a dry weather pattern here as we go into the weekend and into next week. Highs today 70s to around 80, a little bit cooler in the eastern UP, and the highest wind gusts today Houghton at 40 miles per hour. Today's numbers officially, 75 was the high officially at the Weather Service, 52 was the low. Downtown Marquette, the U.S. Coast Guard, 77 was today's high. Here's your dry weather that will be moving on in here starting late tomorrow, and then that dry weather stretch continues on into Thursday, Friday, and in the weekend. Cool-like weather for Thursday and Friday, or cool autumn-like weather for Thursday and Friday, and then temperatures rebounding nicely for Saturday and Sunday. James, back to you.